How are you guys doing today? This is Kevin from fearlessprogression.com. So today I want to make a video about an incident that happened yesterday. So it's something that involves, being able to handle criticism and, getting rejected and just being able to deal with that because I think it's an important part of life. Out there in the real world, it's not so great. You don't know everybody, people don't understand you all the time, people's emotions fluctuate a lot. So, it's tough to kind of predict how they're going to respond, and you have to be able to handle their responses in different ways, right? And if you want to advance towards a particular goal, there's going to be a lot of failure involved, and you're going to have to shut out the negative experiences that happen. So, I want to start off by kind of explaining what happened during this particular experience and what kind of brought it about. So I had a business-related question that was kind of bothering me and I wanted to have it answered. And it was about a specific niche market that I want to potentially get into with my business. And I was wondering about the particular income streams that are involved with this business, whether there actually are ways of making money with this business. So I actually took a lot of looks on Google. I spent a lot of time, researching, trying to figure out if there are answers out there on Google from other content creators or, people who are in this business, but I haven't really found anything. So I'm like, okay, I have to be resourceful, right? This is the right way to go. So in order to be resourceful, I had to actually reach out to people or content creators in this niche on Facebook, even though I didn't know them at all, right? So I basically had to give a cold Facebook message to these people. Now, most people didn't reply, which was understandable. I understand that. But one guy actually replied in particular. And what they basically said is that they couldn't share this particular info with me as it related to their income streams that they were doing with this niche. Because, of course, they didn't know me very well. I was just a stranger to them. And they also said that I could be asking better questions if I wanted to start a business. Now, hearing this kind of response kind of took me a bit aback. I got kind of surprised by this response, and I got very emotional. I got very reactive, and I started getting very angry. I had to kind of give myself a few seconds to just calm down, take a deep breath, because, I was actually very taken back by just being rejected. I feel like internally maybe I expected him to just give me all the answers, give me, all his income streams and, just be very polite about it. Maybe his answer wasn't the most polite, but, still I just got very emotional by it, which is something that, probably shouldn't have happened. Now, of course, I was just trying to be resourceful in my head. That's kind of my mentality. I was like, you know what? All I was trying to do was just get this information and be resourceful, and I had to go out of my way to be able to contact a stranger, even though it might not be the most comfortable situation. And the fact of the matter is, I did end up getting shot down. Now, of course, I felt very angry, especially about the fact that, I wasn't trying to be malicious. All I was trying to do was, just go and ask for help. Sometimes in this world, you need to be able to ask for things in order to get them. And that's all I was trying to do. So, I wasn't looking for his personal information. I wasn't looking for any, personal details. And I completely understood on my end of things that, he was a stranger and I wasn't trying to, get anything out of him that's potentially bad. So, since I was so affected by the situation, I ended up going up to my coworker and just talking to him about this situation and how reactive I got, because I was so surprised about how emotional this was making me. So he actually sat down with me and we just talked about this for a bit, and he gave me some really important insights that kind of reminded myself about all the lessons I've learned in this personal development journey and, what I've actually learned about how to handle rejection and deal with this kind of criticism. So I wanted to be able to share in this video all the lessons I learned from him in the conversations we had. So the first thing he really reminded me about, and I kind of reminded myself about, is that communication, especially over text message or the internet, is it involves both sides, right? It's not a one-way street. So, it involves us being able to both understand each other, which is difficult, right? Especially when you don't have the facial expressions to view or body language or anything like that. And the fact of the matter is, maybe he just didn't understand my intentions. He didn't understand that, I wasn't trying to seek out his personal information or wasn't trying to just take from him. Maybe he just didn't understand that, I'm just a guy who started his online business recently, even though I said that. and I'm just trying to look for answers, and which was the fact of the matter. So I think it was important to remember that, and that things are not always going to go smoothly communication wise. Especially if you're doing things over text message. Sometimes people are going to understand what you're saying, sometimes they're not. And of course, you can always learn from that and do a better job at articulating yourself, being transparent, explaining yourself, and making yourself come across as a very trustworthy person who can explain themselves very well. So that's the first lesson. And the second lesson I learned is that, of course, I could have probably done a better job at introducing who I was and, being able to give an introduction to myself before I asked such a loaded question, such as what a person's income streams are. Because, anything with money is a touchy subject, and I guess it didn't seem like that in my head when I asked it. And the fact of the matter is, I can learn for next time, right? So maybe next time, instead of just introducing myself and saying that I run an online business, I can maybe ask them, how their day is going, being able to offer value to them first. Maybe say that, hey, like I watched your YouTube channel and I thought it was really awesome. I thought it was super cool. They did this video and that video. And then once I, actually take time to acknowledge their day and, what they're doing with their business, then I can ask something to help myself out with my own business. So that's kind of a procedure that would probably be a little smarter to follow next time. And that's totally okay. You live and you learn, right? So the third goal, or the third lesson I learned is that, maybe they were having a bad day. Maybe they're a little stressed out. Maybe their mood may not have been the best. And that's totally okay. And that's the reality with anybody you talk to. Sometimes you're gonna, just put your positivity and share that with other people by, maybe saying hi to a stranger on the street, or, maybe going up to somebody and just offering, maybe you're going up to a homeless person, you're offering them some cash, but the response might not be positive. They might have had a bad day. They might not, give you a smile. They might not react the best way that you like. And you have to learn to not be so attached to the reaction and start being more attached to the idea of offering value and, what you're actually, the intention behind what you're trying to do. So the intention behind what I was trying to do was, of course, get the answer, and I did the best shot I could have taken with that. I actually went out and I asked, and I did all I could have done, right? So that's what I have to remember, right? And the final thing I learned, again, is I don't even know this person, so who really cares in the grand scheme of things, right? As I said before, I took a shot, it didn't work out, so what? And that's the important thing to remember, right? So, at the end of the day, when you're seeking help from other people who you don't know on the internet, or even if, let's say, you're on Tinder and you're dating, you're chatting up different girls on Tinder, and maybe some girls don't respond, or maybe you ask a girl out on a date from Tinder and they don't answer you, and they maybe unmatch you on Tinder. Something that happened to my friend recently. So it's important to be proud of yourself for taking action and, having actually taken a leap and, done something to solve your problem and at least made that effort. So I think that's important to understand. So, I hope these lessons have been beneficial for you to hear and just been a reminder that, rejection is not something you can really avoid in this world. It's something you're going to have to confront in different points, and it's just best to know the right way to react. React with, positive emotions, and, just be able to have that level of thinking where you're not so affected by other people's reactions, and you're more concerned with what you were trying to do and what your attention and vision and like what you really want to get out of what you're trying to do. So that's it for today's video, guys. I encourage you guys to please leave a like if you enjoyed this video. Give me a thumbs up if you enjoyed this particular video, and of course, stick around for more content like this, and I look forward to seeing you guys around. So, until next time, guys, that's it for today. Take care.